Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. Great you could make it. Great we made it, actually. My name's Rob Hopkins from the Transition Network, and I've just spent 2 days at the inaugural Transition Cities Conference in Nottingham.
Hello, I'm Graham Truscott. I'm from Melbourne, near Derby.
Penny Scarrett from Manchester.
Alan Cunningham from Liverpool.
Hi, I'm Claudia and I'm from Barcelona.
Hi, I'm Jodie, I'm from Brixton.
We're all from Liverpool.
So there are lots of questions. What were your burning questions, the monster questions you were bringing? And some of those were really interesting. Questions like inclusivity, how to avoid social disintegration, how we can get cars out of cities. Are cities inherently unsustainable? Is a question we might explore over the next couple of days. What's different? This conference has come about because since the whole transition idea and movement started, there have been people all over the country and further afield trying to apply the transition model to their work in cities. And it felt that it was really important for us to have an event that specifically drew all those people together so that we could ask what's working, what's not working, does the model meet all the needs that you have, what tools have you developed, what insights have you generated, and to be able to pull all that in so that we could revise and refresh the transition approach for cities. We ran the 2 days as a mixture of workshops where we had some people who were bringing in what had emerged in feedback from before the conferences, the things people really wanted to know more about, diversity, managing conflict, these kind of issues. And then also we had lots of open space. And open space really works on the idea that the most useful conversations and discussion happen when people decide what they want to talk about themselves and they run it themselves.
I'd want there to be a place just down the road where people went to lovely, lively evening classes and learnt loads of skills around veg growing and making stuff themselves.
And half about the past for years and years and years.
But it's not the past. It's still large numbers.
Well, it's not post-imperial then, is it? It's
Not at the moment, no.
If you go onto the WHO website and you query on healthy cities, it then gives you a list of subjects, and it goes from everything to...
So it's the Healthy Cities Initiative in the WHO.
There's one called Kick the Habits in particular, which is well worth reading.
I'd want people who came to me with ideas, and I'd say potentially there's a co-op there or a social enterprise. Go and see Grandpa Mills. He knows everything. He's got all the contacts.
It's been about the web and democracy and how the two are linked and how new software on the web is creating a more democratic society.
My sense is that if we're going to successfully navigate the next 5 to 10 years, we need models and approaches which can go viral very, very quickly and which can speak in a range of languages, not just lingual languages, but also in terms of different ways that people absorb information. And I think the transition movement is at the very early stage of that, and there's a lot that we can learn from other groups and organisations, and some of that has been presented here. But if we don't crack the cities, then we haven't really done that much. The wall behind me is the result of the final session that we did here today, where we asked people to look firstly at the 12 steps of transition, the model that we've used up until now, and to say, in an urban context, is that still relevant? Does it still apply? Is it useful? Do we need 14 steps, 25 steps, or actually only 6? So what we're going to do over the next week or two is to pull together all of the ideas and insights that came out of the open space. We're going to pull together the main points from the presentations, and we're going to pull together this information here to produce a kind of a cities primer. You know, where do these urban projects go next? And this feels that this has been a really historic thing over the last couple of days to take this work and really focus on how this works in cities, because obviously doing this work in the middle of Manchester is a very different proposition from doing it in Totnes or the Scilly Isles, you know. So it's been very, very, very useful, I think, for everybody.
It's been really good. I had to host this table of about 15 people, all trying to talk about the role of the entrepreneur and enterprise in the transition movement. It stimulated some really interesting discussion and made some great friends and contacts as a result.
Different workshops have shown me different things that we can do as a group for like workshops in Cambridge, and I've just been really impressed by the variety of things that we can do to help people be involved, to help people so that we can think together to come up with solutions.
I specifically wanted to get a lot about diversity from this workshop, from this weekend, for the last couple of days. And I did a specific diversity workshop, which I'm going to take back. I've got lots of ideas about how we're going to embed the idea of diversity into everything we do, into our design, if you like, for Transition Brighton and Hove. And I have some ideas about ways we might actually go about doing that over the next year, 2 years and beyond.
It's just an affirmative experience to know that you're not wasting your life, energy, breath, you know. It's an encouraging thing to do.
It's very important that we don't reinvent the wheel, and it's important that we focus the energy where there's gaps, and where the gaps are is in the coherence. There's lots of things going on, but they're not being presented as a coherent vision, and I think that's what transition can offer. And I feel kind of excited and inspired to be part of, you know, what a wonderfully creative process to be engaged with in my community.
There's nothing like feeling that you're not alone and that you're working with others, and there's a lot of fun to be had in it.
Transition's delicious, don't you just want a taste? With climate change and people, we better make haste.
We live in a time when the degree of evolution we've seen over the last 100 years is as nothing compared to what we'll see over the next 20 years. I find the potential of what we can create so exhilarating. You know, these are times that where we could, the future generations will look back to this as that window in time, as that generation that looked peak oil and climate change square in the face and responded with tools and with great energy and gusto and commitment. I think that's something that people will sing fantastic songs about in 50 years' time, and I hope I'm around to hear them.